We're going to review the idea of coterminal angles. Co means same, terminal or term means end. So we're talking about angles that end at the same ray. I have a 223 degree angle drawn here. So I could rotate all the way around the circle 360 degrees and then rotate 223 more. And if I add 360 degrees plus 223 degrees, I would get 583 degrees. 583 degrees is coterminal to 223 degrees. I could also rotate this direction, so this direction would be considered negative. Those two angles I rotated are considered a positive direction. So if I rotate from the positive x-axis backwards or in a negative direction, and I went 137 degrees but negative, that angle would also terminate at the same ray. So notice 360 degrees minus 137 degrees equals 223 degrees. So 223, negative 137, and 583 are all coterminal. There's infinitely many coterminal angles to this 223 degree angle. I could just keep rotating around backwards or forwards and continue to land at the same spot. I mean, for example, if I rotated backwards all the way around 360 degrees and then I kept going another 137 degrees, if I rotated negative 360 minus 137 more, that would be negative 497 degrees. So 497, negative 137, 583, 223, they are all coterminal. They all terminate at the same point. Now, we also measure angles in radians. And so let's do a couple of examples in radians. So remember that 180 degrees is pi because a full rotation is 2 pi, so 360 degrees is 2 pi, so 180 degrees is 1 pi. If I divide 180 by 6, I get 30. 6 goes into 180 30 times, so 30 degrees is equivalent to pi over 6 radians. Now, let's suppose I rotated 17 pi over 6. Well, let's think through what angle that actually is. Well, 6 is my denominator. 12 is 2 times 6. So 12 pi over 6 is equivalent to 2 pi. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So 12 pi over 6 is 1 full rotation. To get 17 pi over 6, I have to rotate an additional 5 pi over 6. So this angle is 1 full rotation plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pi over 6 more. So it would terminate somewhere over here in quadrant 2. So that's the angle 17 pi over 6. Notice again, pi over 6 is 30 degrees. So when I did the additional 5 pi over 6, 30 degrees is approximately here. 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, 4 pi over 6 will be where 120 is. 5 pi over 6 is where 150 is. So that might help you kind of visualize that. Now, in terms of coterminal angles, well, 5 pi over 6 is coterminal. 5 pi over 6, if I rotate from the positive x-axis to that line, I will have gone the additional 5 pi over 6 from the full rotation that I did. So 5 pi over 6 is coterminal. If I rotate backwards, making a negative angle, okay, that angle is also coterminal. So let's think through what it is. This is 180 or pi, and then I've gone one more pi over 6 backwards. So this angle is pi plus an additional pi over 6, or it is 7 pi over 6. But it's negative because of the direction that I rotated. So negative 7 pi over 6 is also coterminal. Again, how I know I went an additional pi over 6 is we already said this was 5 pi over 6. So 6 pi over 6 is pi. So if I've rotated 5 pi over 6, there's one more pi over 6 to get to a half circle or pi. So if I'm going this way, I've rotated 6 pi over 6 backwards plus an additional pi over 6, or negative 7 pi over 6 is also coterminal. Again, there's infinitely many angles that are coterminal. I could rotate 1 time around, 2 times around, and then keep going. If I did that, then I would have a 2 pi plus another 2 pi plus 5 pi over 6. So this would be 12 pi over 6 plus another 12 pi over 6. So 24 pi over 6 plus my additional 5 pi over 6, or 29 pi over 6 is also coterminal. So 29 pi over 6, negative 7 pi over 6, positive 5 pi over 6 are all coterminal with 17 pi over 6. Again, there's infinitely many angles. I could keep going around forwards and backwards. Let's do one more example using the radians, because I know people tend to be less familiar with radians. You know, again, a reminder, 180 is pi. So if I divide 180 by 4, I get 45 degrees. And so 45 degrees is pi over 4. So negative 9 pi over 4 is equivalent to negative 8 pi over 4 minus 1 more pi over 4. And I focused on 8 pi over 4 because 8 is 2 times 4. So 8 over 4 is 2. So this is one full rotation, 2 pi, and then an additional pi over 4. So I would have gone around 1 time and then an additional pi over 4, landing me here in quadrant 4. That's negative 9 pi over 4. So some angles that are coterminal to that, if I just rotate a negative pi over 4, that lands at the same position. So negative pi over 4 is coterminal. I could also rotate starting at the positive x-axis around, stopping at that same ray, and I would have gone around 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4. Remember, 45 is pi over 4. So 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4. So that angle that I just rotated is positive 7 pi over 4. So 7 pi over 4 is also coterminal with negative pi over 4 and with negative 9 pi over 4. I could also go all the way around in the positive direction and then keep going and land at the same spot. So if I did that, I would have gone positive 2 pi plus an additional 7 pi over 4. Remember, this angle here was 7 pi over 4. So 2 pi is 8 pi over 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Plus 7 more pi over 4 will be 15 pi over 4. And that is also coterminal with the 7 pi over 4, with the negative pi over 4, with the negative 9 pi over 4. So I hope that that helps review a little bit of the idea of coterminal angles.